So what I'm gathering is that every single week in the NFL needs to have famous Jameis starting somewhere. Because that is just good football.
Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah,
And I'm Will.
and today we're going over Week 12 recap. There's stuff that happened, that's for sure. Especially Thursday night. Yeah. So I guess we could just go jumping right into this.
It was ugly game, kind of on the Bills' behalf. They made this game really close, that's for sure, coming down to the wire. But it just feels like more of what we've seen out of the Bills. Texans' defense has been getting, I think, better every single week.
if that's even possible.
Somehow, and the offense is also looking a little bit better. But again, I also don't know how much of that is the Bills' defense having some holes. But yeah, the Texans 8 sacks on Josh Allen. Some of it due to O-line struggles and woes. Some of it, I think, kind of is on just Josh Allen. Also, Bills back to turning the ball over again.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Hopefully they get that cleaned up. But Texans, they're making a push. They're a game behind. Is it one game behind the Jaguars?
I believe so.
And ironically, only 2 points behind the Colts. Which, speaking of the Colts,
Oh, yes.
dropping a game to the Chiefs and allowing 14 unanswered points to lose in overtime.
Yeah.
Starting in the fourth quarter. I feel like this gets blown a little out of proportion. There's a few games that are blown a little out of proportion
Yes,
that will be
very much
interesting talking points. But yeah, Colts coming off of a bye. You hope that the hope is that they come in rested and stuff, but you still have to go to KC, play, and you're playing Patrick Mahomes in KC.
Yes.
And you still are having Ward come back for his first game in a while, and it's only Gardner's second game on defense. So you're going against a good run defense, which kind of attacks your strong point. So the fact that they jumped out to a 20-9 lead
Yeah.
at all was kind of impressive to me. Again, the fashion in which they closed was a little disappointing, and I think speaks a lot more to
Yeah.
again, Chiefs run defense, but also a little bit of concern when you have to rely on Daniel Jones versus being able to utilize him.
Yeah.
But I think the more interesting thing is outside of the game is a lot of people are saying that this is the turning point that determines the fact that the Chiefs are still. Obviously they're still very alive in the playoff picture, but this gives them. A lot of people think this is the turning point to where they kind of will their way in.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's what are your thoughts on this? Comparing their odds to make the playoffs after this. How do you feel about that compared to, how they were before? I guess.
So, is that how they were before this game?
Yeah, how much does this actually determine how good the Chiefs are and if they'll make the playoffs?
I think if the Chiefs make the playoffs, they'll sneak in barely. They have to have a lot going their way. They do not control their destiny right now. I think this speaks more to the Colts being a little, what do you call it? Just having a bump in the road. It's just kind of what happens. Because then you have, when you're looking at the bigger picture, at least in my opinion, you have a Chiefs team that's really hungry to get back into the playoffs and still, be as dominant as their dynasty has been. I don't think it affects too much at the moment. I think if some teams start losing and the Chiefs still continue to win, that would be more of a concern, I'd say, for everybody else, really. I think Chiefs can definitely make a squeak into the playoffs. I don't know how far they'll go. They're not as good as they once were. I mean, last year's Super Bowl kind of attests to that. They're still a good team, though. Like, you still have Mahomes as good as he is. Rashid Rice is good. Pacheco when he's on fire. However, everyone outside of that is a little disappointing on that offense, especially Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that kind of answers the question, just because, again, so many people are like, they beat the Colts. This means that they are truly a playoff team, and that it's like
You beat
they're inconsistent. They're like a lot of teams where it's like you lose to the Bills, but you beat the Colts. You lose to the Broncos still, who are, and
yeah.
I think the Broncos are such an interesting point of conversation, which we can save for a week where they actually
play again.
Because
there's so much to talk about with that division alone.
Because so many people don't view the Broncos as like true contenders, because
Which is stupid, because then who in that division, who is then? Raiders aren't. The Chiefs aren't, because they're inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: we know if they make the playoffs, they can make a run.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
But
and that's the danger, and that's why people are like, okay, maybe they will make the playoffs again. I'm a little hesitant. I wouldn't be surprised if they did squeak in. I would be more surprised if they didn't, and then lost a few more games. Like, this is not like the Chiefs team of old. Like, this is a different Chief. Like, this.
So you're saying you'd be more surprised if they just missed the playoffs?
Yeah, I'd be more surprised if they missed the playoffs at this point.
Honestly, I think I'd be more surprised if Chiefs made the playoffs and then got first round bounced, because I'd be like, whoa,
Well,
that was.
well, you don't expect it. I mean,
No.
new year, new Chiefs, new year, new NFL being like, I don't know what's actually happening. Ooh, random team in the playoffs. Ooh.
I'm having my identity crisis that I'm supposed to have every 5 years. Yeah, it's just the Chiefs, the whole AFC West. I do believe, yes, if the Chiefs make the playoffs, they're going to have pretty good odds to make it all the way, because that's just what they do. But also at the same time, looking at the playoff picture, if they do make the playoffs, they'd probably sneak in as a 7th seed, which right now would match them up with the Broncos.
At Denver.
At Denver. Not fun. But
No.
Denver, again, a lot of people count them out because, their offense isn't good. Like, they forget the last time they won a Super Bowl was with a
Really good defense.
really good defense, kind of crappy offense, even though it had Peyton Manning.
Manning was in his twilight, so he wanted to go on a high note. So
people forget that. But
yeah, moving on.
Yeah, looking to some other games. Looking, I guess, at an interesting one. Another case of kind of the same thing, just different team. Cowboys upsetting the Eagles on a 24 point or 21 point comeback, 24 points unanswered.
This is also the same situation. I'd be surprised if, okay, so it's flipped from the Chiefs. I would be surprised if the Cowboys made the playoffs.
Yeah,
I would be, because they're 5-5-1. NFC is not a easy conference this year either. Like, both conferences are pretty tough, especially the top 7 right now. And the fact that you have the Lions outside of the NFC playoff picture at the moment is kind of wild. Like, you're not going to sneak in unless somebody really falls off. I mean, it could happen. Anything can happen. But I think it's more like you mentioned earlier. It's more the Cowboys are just good at home against NFC East teams.
Dak
with
Prescott
Dak.
and yeah,
With
Dak
Dak.
Prescott in particularly
with Dak.
continues his streak up to 22-2.
I mean,
But yeah,
the ones that he did lose were, I don't know, like an Eagles team.
yeah,
year or two ago.
it's very rare, and again, you like people will. The other thing is like it's mostly excuses. I mean, it's like it's following a trend, but you can't say that just because you lost, it's just like we couldn't have possibly like you still could have, but
You still, yeah, they
it's
easily could've.
just difficult. But
They easily
um,
could've.
but like I think that pointing that out, I think is a big key to this.
No,
I will say again, Cowboys are 500, so it's not too far off for them to make it, but they don't have a super easy road to the playoffs. Where I do also think that part of this is again, Eagles. Yes, they're managing games well and their defense is super dominant, but I think a lot of this just falls under the again, the Eagles aren't blowing teams out, and you have a really good record at home again. Like Dak is really good against NFC East opponents at home, and I think that's a lot of what gets you this win. Where I don't think you'll see this sort of stuff the rest of the year.
No,
We'll see a couple wins, a couple losses. I don't think I do agree.
I
that
think
I
they'll
don't think-
split. They'll split their wins and losses.
I just don't think they're going to do enough to make the playoffs.
No,
Again,
they'd have to make an insane push for it right now.
that or the Eagles fall apart, and they win the division.
They're what, 4 games back right now?
They
and a
are two and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, even
with
though
the
the-
tie,
Yeah, I guess with the tie, but even
So,
then, it's
three
I don't know about
three Cowboys wins and 3 Eagles losses puts the Cowboys in
that. First,
first,
close to.
depending on tiebreakers.
Yeah,
Well, actually, no, not depending on tiebreakers because there's a tie.
yeah.
But yeah,
Can't do
there's. But yeah, that's another case of said thing. You did mention this team, which I did want to bring up for a few reasons. Talking about the Lions, who are at 7-4, sitting outside of the playoffs, behind the Packers based off of a tie.
That's
But
literally it.
yeah, Lions. I mean, offense was definitely going. Jahmyr Gibbs
Yeah.
had, what was it? Was it 264 yards
Something
total?
like that.
I know it's 55 fantasy points. That I
Yeah,
know.
I know that. I knew that.
But yeah, Lions. They go to OT, have an OT thriller with the Giants and Jameis Winston. Somehow, Giants have been keeping conversations interesting in the games because, who said we don't need young superstars. We have Jameis Winston and Wan'Dale Robinson and Tyrone Tracy and Devin Single. Like, I don't know. Mike Kafka might actually manage to keep that job if he can do well. Giants did fire the defensive coordinator, but unfortunately, none of that really matters as their season is done.
Yay. Yeah, it's kind of duality of. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it needed to be done.
I'm just surprised they were the first.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even think of that as a possibility, but
Yeah. There was a couple more games that I wanted to mention specifically. Patriots Bengals, a bit close. Out of all teams, I didn't think the Bengals were going to put the Patriots to the test as much as I thought they would.
I just thought this would be higher scoring. I think.
Yes, this should have been a higher scoring game in my opinion. But the Bengals defense existed.
The goal line stops are really what confuses me, but I will say Bengals offense not performing as well isn't too surprising because we saw obviously Jamar Chase was suspended for the game
Yeah.
due to the spitting incident.
Oof.
And then which he also issued an apology, but I feel like
You never mentioned Jalen Ramsey's name. said apology.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just a PR thing.
Oh,
where
it's
they're
very
like-
much a PR thing. They don't like each other.
well, and not even like I just don't think it's very genuine. But again, it's something where a PR team comes to him and it goes,
You need to do this.
yeah, I think I don't know. That's why I didn't pay a lot of attention to it because I was like, yeah, cool.
Unless you want to bet he chat GBT'd it.
Well, no, I'm assuming the PR team actually probably wrote something up for him. Would be my guess because
Probably.
the way he was talking, I was like,
There's no way.
they're trying to dilute. But yeah, the Bengals without Jamar Chase, T. Higgins actually suffered a concussion, so he's expected to be out another week.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
So
even then,
he's gonna miss some time. So but missing both of them, he got injured late, but he was out for that last drive that could have won the Bengals the game. So there's some concern. I would say Drake May didn't have a horrible game though. So
no, but it was a little lackluster.
I think it was a lot of the running game that was
Yeah.
lackluster. Let's see. Kirk O'Chain's getting his win.
Took forever, but yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Matthew Stafford, 27 touchdowns without an interception.
Something like that. Yeah, he's to me. If this, I wish MVP wasn't, but if it was solely a QB award, which it is at this point, Matthew Stafford would win the MVP. There are not many cases that you could make that are.
As far as quarterbacks go, no, I wouldn't argue anyone else.
That's what I said, quarterback specifically. If we were actually defining the MVP as an all-position award, there's some other players.
even I mean, I will say that he gets a lot of help. Stafford gets a lot of help from his receivers,
Which
but
is true.
at the same time, he is making a very strong case right now, which is why I'm like, whether it's a quarterback award or not, right now I would have Matthew Stafford at the front.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I try and view it from all positions. Jonathan Taylor is my runner-up right now.
Yeah.
He needs to do a little bit more, which is seems bizarre to say, but again, coming off of
He needs to have another
little-
couple more breakout games.
Yeah,
And maybe I'm more convinced if he would win the award. I wanted Barkley to win last year. Obviously, that didn't happen because QB award.
Yeah, that one was an instance of QB award, but this is an actual case of Matthew Stafford is just playing at a ridiculous level.
level. So
but
give him his
yeah.
props. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think again, Jonathan Taylor's there. JSN is also someone who he's up there, but it's just
He's had a couple.
I think he's I'd have to look at how many games.
I don't think he's had a very bad game yet. I know he's had a couple.
He's had I think
slower
100.
games
I think he's had over 100 yards.
for the last.
I don't know how many games, but it's been a pretty decent streak. I think, unless that was broken somewhere, but I don't.
Yeah, it's been a while since he broke that streak, but there were a couple of days he wasn't as productive, but there were days he was very productive. So give him some slack, but.
I guess a game with a piece of more just pieces of news as also I guess a talking point. Not that it really affects anything at all. Raiders Browns. Raiders. Not great game. Fire Chip Kelly.
No, it
So
took
Chip
forever.
Kelly's out. Raiders, they still have a lot to figure out on offense. Defense is
Okay.
it has Max Crosby. Meanwhile, the Browns. Shadur played.
Average.
There are highlights and lowlights, and it's
That's what I mean
his
by average.
it's his first rookie start, and
And you were playing the Raiders.
yeah, you're playing the Raiders. Yes, he's the first one since '95.
So it was 90.
Yeah, it was '95.
I swore it was in the 90s.
Yeah, first quarterback since '95 for the Browns to win their first game for the Browns. But again, a lot of what they did to win wasn't on the back of Shadur. He had one really good throw to Isaiah Bond.
That's what it was. It was Bond near the end zone.
He had a couple He showed some improvement from last week, that's for sure. But he also, again, there were some points where he didn't look great. Yes, he scored a touchdown, but
On a screen pass.
he threw what was it, a 66-yard screen pass? So
yeah.
he dumped
That's-
it off and let the running back do
Yeah,
everything.
so that was literally a line / the running back situation. That wasn't. That wasn't
he
him.
didn't do that's the one thing that I think bothers me the most. Like I'll give him his credit. The throw was great.
Yeah, that was like
And
the best
he-
thing that he did that day.
He showed improvement with like pocket presence. His pocket presence was better. He wasn't making as many errant throws, and he seems better just under pressure in general. But so many people are like, "Yeah, Shadur's first touchdown." I'm like,
It was a
Sure,
screen pass.
it's a technicality. You know, if he was like one step forward, it wouldn't even be his touchdown. It'd be a run. Because it's a screen. Like yes, it's good for him. He's gonna be his first one.
Yeah.
Like he gets to celebrate that. But as far as like, from a audience perspective, that really doesn't mean
No, it doesn't mean
much.
much. No.
So it's just, I think it's silly. Again, it's like good for you. It's something he's gonna remember. But the performance as a whole, again, you see the potential.
Yes.
If you take. And that's the thing I try to do, because so many people get caught up in the Shadur where it's either a lot of glazing or a lot of hating.
Yeah.
I strip the name, look at it purely as just a player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He's definitely shown more potential than Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
At least when it comes to elevating the offense. But he's still got some stuff to work on, and that does lead to potential turnovers as well. He's not going to be that guy yet.
No,
he's got some stuff to
He's
work
got
on
a
still.
lot of work on, and that's why I'm just concerned about how people are just going to view things in general, because people are so brain dead on the internet, and that's why I just don't read many comments. But the ones I do, I just see like, man, I hope their head coach gets fired for benching Shador for this long, or what was it? Oh, you're a hater? Let me check your profile. Checks out because you're white. Like there's just a bunch of like brain dead comments on the internet. And I'm just like, have we really gotten to this point
I won't
in
speak,
NFL social media?
I won't speak too much to it because it fuels that.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
kind of
I just think it's funny because for solely the reason that Dylan Gabriel isn't white.
because he's what is he? He's Hawaiian. No.
Yeah, I believe he's Hawaiian.
Okay.
I think I believe, or he's some sort of Pacific Islander. I don't know exactly from where, but I know he's not white.
and
so the fact
nobody's
that,
saying anything about him.
Yeah,
but
it's
just
just-
because it's Shador.
yeah,
It's racism.
Yeah, it's a group of people looking for attention, which is again why I try not to pay attention.
And that's why I'm turning off all the comments.
Yeah,
if can,
I
so.
do away with all the noise around him. He's just someone who's going to get a lot of attention.
Because he
and-
talks his mouth a lot.
Well, it's not even him. Most of it isn't even him at this point. It's just his fans, which is why I'm like, put them aside and I try and just pay attention to the football. And what I see
too, but-
is a young guy who has a bit of a ceiling and can flourish, but he needs some time and some work.
He needs the effort.
But yeah, they did name him as the starter going forward, which doesn't surprise me because again,
I mean,
Dylan.
he was a game manager for the most part, and even then he struggled.
There's just not enough there for him to say, I'm just going to... well, I say that while Shadur thrived on his weapons. But there wasn't enough for him to go and dump it. Like, there was a level of needing to elevate.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to argue that the Browns are good, but what I will argue is while they are bad, they might still have someone set a record, which is just... he's got... Myles Garrett has 6 games to get 5 sacks to break the record.
He's
And
ridiculous.
what I would like to say is I really hope, because I think he can break it.
Easily,
I
yeah.
think he'll break it. What I'm hoping is I hope he takes no more than 5, because I know there's going to be some people putting an asterisk going, he had 17 games instead of 16 now. Like if he does it like this next week or in the next 2 weeks, and it's like there's no argument.
There's no argument, yeah.
And
And I really want him to break that record within the 16 game.
The sooner he does it, the less people can
Stop complaining.
dispute it.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be someone, but I guess enough of the Browns. A few other games. Dude, I don't even
think
really
it's-
want to talk about it too much, but Panthers 49ers, Brock Purdy threw 3 first half interceptions and still came away with a 20-9 win.
I think it's funny. I'm sorry.
It's just
It's
it's so
hilarious.
it was so
It
ugly.
was terrible. It
It
was.
was so
awful.
ugly.
What do you say out of that? Like, Brock Purdy is regressed a little. Like, I don't want to say that though.
I don't know.
He's not. He didn't perform really good. Well,
I don't really.
and that's what my concern was that once they kind of expose the system that Brock Purdy is in, he's not that great, and that was my concern.
He's just had, I think the past year or two has had issues with forcing balls a little too much. I think it's a little bit of the cojones getting a little too big for him.
Just a
But
little bit.
yeah, it was not.
They're still going to be a great team when they're fully healthy, and
Yeah.
they're always
Um,
going to be a threat.
Robert Saleh is doing a good job with them.
Yeah,
but
he's always going to do a great job.
last one
Okay.
that I want to touch on is even though he didn't play, Aaron Rodgers might have to sign over his ownership of the Bears.
Unfortunately.
It's his time has
Expired.
come. even though he was sitting there on the sideline watching Mason Rudolph throw the game
Please
away.
tell me you saw the clip of him on the sideline, just like, legal formation, what are you doing? And they get flagged for that. I was like, that's a veteran he's like the old angry veteran who's just like, what are you doing? That's not how you run a football. Like,
So what that game did remind me of, which I thought was, I guess, a little interesting. Well, I guess it's not that interesting. Mason Rudolph playing, he wasn't horrible, but like at the same time,
he wasn't great.
Aaron Rodgers is out, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, you're still playing for playoffs, so best chance to win, but I also kind of wanted to see Will Howard a little bit.
I was surprised I hadn't seen.
I forgot he was there. I'm going to be completely transparent. I was like, yeah, Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers. And then someone was like, put in Howard. And I was like, oh, yeah, they have
the
Will
Ohio
Howard-
State quarterback that won them a natty.
Well, no.
Why is he not playing?
It's probably, again, it's because he's a rookie. And
Let him sit, learn from veterans.
well, it's letting him sit, learning from veterans, but it's like you're trying to stay in the playoff hunt. Mason Rudolph probably gives you a better chance to win compared to Will Howard, who
who's
is
never
like
seen a snap on the field yet.
he should be in like either blowout situations or if the if
the
it's a game
season's
that doesn't
over,
matter.
yeah.
But this game does matter.
So they needed
And
to have a
Speaking
chance.
of mattering, this win for the Bears also continues to hold the division lead. Which
does
is
indeed.
Just and the other thing is like, it's so weird that the Bears are like, on one hand, winning the division, but on the other hand, 2 weeks, like 2 weeks of losses could put them from division
First.
leader to outside of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because that is just what the NFC is. But a
Yay.
little bit of a action-packed. Well, I guess there was just, I don't know, condensed recap where it felt like a lot going on,
At
but
the same time, not.
not going to be not as much as there will be next week when we will have our Week 13 preview coming up pretty soon. So thank you so much for joining us for this Week 12 recap. We enjoy your presence every single video, and we look forward to seeing you in any video coming up soon or live stream. Bye.